This is a picture of the top of the chimney. This is for your furnace or hot water tank on the left-hand side. The fireplace side is the right-hand side with the screening over it. When we look down the chimney, there should be clay tile that line the inside and keep the smoke and the creosote, and it reflects heat. If you were to have a chimney fire, the clay tile would be in there to reflect heat. Due to the age of the home, or possibly when they built it, they didn't spend the extra money to put it in back then. It's required now, but they didn't install it. The problem with creosote in regular brickwork is that it erodes mortar. You can see the mortar joints here between the bricks.
Yeah.
It's also flammable. So the more we use it, obviously the more deterioration we get, but also the more creosote accumulation between the missing mortar joints. And if you were to have a chimney fire, the only thing protecting your home is the outside wall of the chimney, which is by nature getting thinner and thinner. You know, when I opened up the damper and we had mortar pieces falling down, the mortar is actually coming from between the brick. Another reason that you would be having a problem with venting this or possibly smoke coming in is that the opening between the screen is actually very, very small in comparison to even the size that we have available inside the chimney.
Now, what is that dimension? I mean, it looks different.
At the top or down here?
Well, it's different.
It is.
In
This
different
round area up here is only about 6.5, 7 inches around, which is much, much too small to properly vent this big of a fireplace. Inside the chimney, though, I have a workable dimension of about 6.5 by 13 for the majority of the way, and it actually opens up bigger than that in some areas. We have a couple options here. Depending on what you use the fireplace for, if you want more heat out of it, I have different solutions. If you like just the big open fireplace, I have a different one also. For a big open fireplace, we need to be able to take a large volume of air so that we can remove the smoke, okay, effectively out of the house. We also need to be able to contain that smoke all the way to the top. So my cheapest solution and best for longevity would be a lining on the inside with an insulation wrapped around it. It would be a custom made pipe because of the unfortunate shape and size of the chimney. And I will send that as an option number 1 to you on a proposal. The other option, which you would be able to take advantage of the tax credit if you wanted more heat and up the efficiency, is an insert with a glass door and a blower that would actually take room air and heat it and blow it back into the house. You get a 30% credit back on your taxes on the total spent, basically the stove and the lining. The lining is a smaller pipe with a wrapped insulation that comes down and connects to the top of the stove. That tax credit, the most that they will rebate you is $1,500, but it's off of the total job. So if it's something you've talked about, we do have an unsafe situation here that needs repair. If you want more heat, and it would be a benefit to you, and if you do burn a lot of wood, it's something at least it could pay for itself. With a fireplace, you're taking a tremendous amount of air out of the house. So.
What if we don't have fires in here? Is there any kind of hazard?
No. The only thing I would suggest if you're not going to have fires is to put a cap on here to keep the rainwater out, so that eventually you don't have to rebuild the firebox, or if you go to sell the home, it hasn't done more damage than is already done. Okay.
I guess that would be a question if we do sell the home. I guess it depends on how people feel about fireplaces. I mean,
Correct.
They might feel fine about not using it. If we did any fires in here this year, would it be dangerous?
The way that it is, normally what we inspect for is if the flue tile can contain the creosote. In your case, there is no flue tile. It's also very dirty. So the risk of chimney fire is quite high. And the possibility of your chimney not containing the fire is extremely high.
So in other words,
I need a signature when I leave stating that you understand you shouldn't use it. What you do with that is, I don't tell the city, I don't tell the inspectors or insurance, but I have to let you know because I am certified. The Chimney Safety Institute requires me to tell you.
Well,